people. Where are you? Hello, pretty people. All the pretty people say hi, Jerusha. You're just now hearing the sound of my voice. Make sure you put newbie in the comments. Say, I'm a newbie, I'm a newbie, I'm a newbie. I'm going to share some motivation, inspiration, and some business tips. And we're going to talk about image online because I built my business offline and it was important that we had a certain image. But when I came online, it was totally different. You still have to have an image, but it's a different type. I would say, because people show up, you can see all the TikToks. Want to switch to hands and bring it. Oh, it's 50 degrees in Virginia. So it's 64 or something in Atlanta. But they're saying it's going to snow this weekend. So, and today's already Thursday. So I don't even know what's happening with this weather, but we thank God for it. We made it another day, so we have another purpose, right? So I'm excited about that. If you are a newbie to me, make sure you put newbie in the comments below. That's important because I like to know that I'm attracting some newbies. I like to know that, yes, there are people that want to level up with us because all the pretty people are right here in my private community. And so if you are a pretty person, hashtag pretty people, hashtag pretty people if you are a part of the pretty people. And so if you want to join me in my private Facebook group, join us over here, Instagram and TikTok. And then that way I share actionable business tips every single week. You get to download PDFs, or you can just go to the link in my bio. It says business tips, motivation, and inspiration. So you can receive all of this goodness every single week. I try to share what I know for sure and how I became an entrepreneur offline and online. And so if this sounds like something that you'd be open to, like you want all the tips, right? You want all the goods for free. Okay, well, click the link in my bio. It says business tips, motivation, and inspiration so that you can get that on a weekly basis. Yes, hashtag pretty people. I see you. Yes. Is it Parveen is in the building? Hello, Patricia's in the building. Thank you so much for joining me. Jay-Z is in the building. Hello, gorgeous Emily is in the building. Let me know you're in the building and where are you from? Because like I said, I'm in Atlanta. It's like 64 degrees. But it's supposed to be snowing this weekend. So what is going on? Yes, gorgeous. And so we're going to talk about image because I find that it's a little different. It's a little different for me. Being online, as you can see today, I just got on a t-shirt about women, which would be something I would never wear at a business meeting offline. So I do think it's a little bit different in terms of the expectation. And so we're going to talk about some of the things that I've learned. And like I said, if you don't know my story, let me just tell you, I'm Jerusha Wiggins, motivational speaker, radio personality, and business coach in the direct sales business. And I help women start a business in my organization. Is going down. I love the hearts. Thank you so much. I'm developing 100 online leaders focused on a 90-day sprint, income producing activity to attract the right people. I'm looking for those women who are like me. You're in corporate America. You want a side hustle or you want to transition from employee to entrepreneur. You might have a little ones and you want to focus on your priority, which is your family. I got you. And so that's what I did over a decade ago. My son was 2 at the time, and I made that huge transition. People thought I was crazy. I was crazy in love with him. And so I built my business in like 8 months to the top 2% of the company. And I did that offline for a year. So when I say for a decade, over presentations, home meetings, I had an office in Atlanta, hotel conference rooms, like you name it, I did it offline. And at that time, I would say, 2012, 2014, that was an offline kind of building. It was expected kind of almost to have coffee meetings at Starbucks. Like that's what you were doing. You were actually networking out and about. I know now we can't kind of go to networking events, women empowerment event, women conferences. Like we were at all of these events networking with the people. We was with the people. And so that's how I built my business. And so there was a certain image that was expected when you're face to face. So if you are in a conference room in a hotel, you are dressed differently, right? I wouldn't have on a cute little t-shirt, right? I would be dressed differently because I'm in front of an audience. And so what I found when I got online in 2017, I was like, people are super successful, but they're comfortable. They're at home. Obviously, I still, like with my hair and my skin and everything to look well, be presentable. but it's totally different from being offline. So you guys feel me on that? So I also help women build their businesses no matter what industry you're in, no matter what you sell. I help and teach how you can do that online and offline. So I create what I call double threats. So if you want to be a double threat, hashtag double threat, hashtag double threat if you want to be a double threat. Really? Okay. So I think a lot of times you said you've tried different businesses. It might depend on, your upline, your business coaching, the systems in place. All of that I think matters. And also the key part, in my opinion, she was just saying she's tried different businesses. Listen, a lot of it is attitude and the willingness to be uncomfortable. And we'll talk about that with the image. You definitely have to want to be uncomfortable because it will stretch you in a different direction. So in my opinion, network marketing and direct sales, it's a life improvement program. So you're going to grow in different areas. And I think a lot of times people just assume that because you do see people, successful, you think everybody is successful. Well, if you think about it in corporate America, everybody's not a manager. Everybody doesn't make six figures. Everybody is not the CEO. And so it really depends on your attitude and the work you're willing to put into it. So I think, and obviously you've got to have good systems. And so that has been key to being also online. We're going to talk about image. You also have to have good systems. So if you want to, I would say you try, if it's something you want to try, let's try it because we fall forward to success anyway. So it's not like you try one time and give up if you want to learn a new skill. You just keep trying, just like you would tell if you have children or a cousin or whomever, and they're trying to learn how to ride a bicycle for the first time, they're going to fall 50 times before they actually get it. You wouldn't say, oh, you've tried that. That might not be for you. You've tried this bicycle thing. You keep falling. You can't be steady. Oh, and now you want to stand up and ride. Yeah, that might not be for you. You wouldn't say that, right? Because it takes time and people don't give themselves enough credit in the time and patience. It takes time to learn anything. It's not going to immediately happen. And so as this child or whomever is falling off the bike, you're like, get up. And you get to the point where you don't even help them up. So sometimes if you're building a business and you have a mentor or business coach, they'll help you. Okay. But sometimes they're not going to help you because they want you to do it. They want you to do it. That means you got to self-educate. That means you got to find the resources. That means you have to put in the sweat equity. And so same thing with the child. Sometimes when my son, I have two boys, I'm like, oh, he fell. He'll be fine. My first one, I was a little crazy. I was like, oh, I got to help you. And then I realized me helping you so much is hindering you, right? So it's like me snipping your wings like they did with the butterfly. I know you guys heard this story, right? There was a moth, or moth turns into butterfly, and the little boy was waiting for it to hatch, and it was struggling. It was struggling to hatch. So he took a pair of scissors and he snipped it a little bit so he can open up the hole, and then the butterfly could come out or the moth could come out easily. Well, when he did that, he didn't realize now the butterfly couldn't fly because the reason why they struggle, the blood is going through their veins to allow him to have to use his wings. And that little snip, right? I'm going to help you, right? Actually caused him not to be able to fly. And so sometimes we need that. We need somebody to just let us struggle a little bit. Let you struggle, go, go, go. I let my boy struggle. Okay. And one of them, he rides a skateboard and he was determined he's going to be, he would, oh my gosh, bruised up like, oh, well, okay, you got to get up or you're going to quit. Which one? You going to try it again or you going to quit? Okay. So if it's something you want to do, you can learn a skill. And so sometimes the struggle is needed for you to have the greatest strength. Hopefully that helps. I love it. You said hashtag double threats. Okay, yes, let's talk about it. So first you want to change the way you think. That's important. So let's stop concentrating on what we cannot do, and let's concentrate on what we can do. So I'm going to tell you, when I got into my industry, I didn't know anything. People assume that, oh, you have this type of background. I was clueless, right? But I was so excited. I was like, oh, a new thing. No one knows about it. So I didn't have any idea. So you've got to think a new way so you can manifest a new thing in your life. because the current challenges you and I face today cannot be solved at the same level of thinking in which it was created. Technology has changed the way we do business. Technology has changed the way we communicate. I can meet now. You and I are besties. You're in Virginia. I'm in Atlanta. When I go live, I see you. I'm like, hey, bestie. Right. So the way we meet people is different than the way we even met them 5 years ago, definitely 10 years ago. And so I think that we got to embrace that type of change. You basically have like 2 seconds to make a first impression right now online. The average person they have about 7 to 10 seconds that they are scrolling. And if they stop on your video, they stop on your live, they stop on your post, you got seconds to make that impression. And so in person, it's a little different because usually when I was networking at all these conferences and women events, and if I was out and about and networking, meeting people, people typically don't just ignore you and walk away. Well, that wasn't my experience. I was trying to, talk to a certain caliber of women. We're there to exchange. It's like a certain, respect when you're exchanging business cards. Like, what do you do? Oh, I'm a professor. Oh, what do you do? It's kind of expected to have this small talk because you're face to face, right? But online, people don't have time for the small talk. They're like, what is it that you want? Oh, you're trying to sell me something. Oh, whatever. They don't have time for anything. So I just had to learn, to me, the differences in being offline. You could build a rapport with the person. You could ask, great questions. You have that opportunity to feel the energy, even though you feel my energy here, but it's different, right? And so I was like, man, this online world requires me to learn a different skill, but I'm open to that. I was resistant when I saw people going online, building their business. I already saw success offline. So I was like, yeah. But something was like, you need to be there. You need to be there. You need to be there. But no. Okay. How many of you like that? But I knew in my heart that I wasn't growing how I was doing it anymore. I met a certain level, the top 2, and I was like, well, I'm here, but I want to go to the next level. And so I think, in my opinion, I like to tell people God was setting me up like, girl, you need to go online. So that's when I went live in 2017. I noticed, I looked around, I was looking at other people and how they were marketing and how they were showing up and their image. I looked at all that and said, okay, these are some of the things I need to do as well. And so that required me to be uncomfortable. Okay. It required me to be like, okay, this is different. Okay. And so you're going to be changing in different ways. And that's a good thing. That's the point of life, right? If you're not growing, you're not learning, you might as well be dead. And I don't mean literally, but you know what I mean? You're just here. You're wasting time. Okay. So I need you to really get into this online space. I said this the other day, when you show up online and you're going to look different, you're going to talk different from the way people used to see you as, because offline I was different, right? Than being online. You gotta have a lot of personality. I'm trying to keep your attention, keep you excited, keep you motivated. So it's a little different. And I just want you to know, when you get online, everybody's not gonna celebrate you. I'm gonna celebrate you though. Everybody's not gonna celebrate you in your friend list. Everybody's not gonna celebrate you in your family. Everybody's not gonna celebrate you at your job, workers. So you gotta be okay with that. Okay. So don't even look for it. If it happens, great. That's a bonus. Like, but you don't need it. You don't need it for you to grow. You don't need it because you can attract people. 2.94 billion people are online. You can attract your people. Okay. So any level of success in your life automatically accentuates a level of non-success in somebody else's. So just because they didn't go live yet, they didn't change their image yet, then you do it. They have something to say. But I want you to leave them people where they belong. Okay. My mother say, weed out the folk, keep the people. Write that down. Weed out the folk, keep the people. Every day I'm like, weed out the folk. It's okay to delete people too. Delete, block. You want those people that are celebrating you. So when you show up looking differently and growing your brand, you're embraced by the peoples. Does this make sense? Yes or yes? So when I was offline, we had to, I would say, dress more professionally. Like I had on business suits, tailored suits, heels, pantyhose, especially if I was doing a presentation. I was doing a presentation Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, presentations. And so you had your briefcase, like it was a serious business. And then the environment online is a little different. It's still a serious business, but people kind of expect people to be comfortable, right? And so image, let's see here, is an important factor in building your brand. And so when people go to your page, that's what they're looking at to judge, which that's what you do, right? So I'm going to give you an acronym for image, IMAGE, and you can write this down. Pretty person's going to write this down. I'm going to talk as fast as I can, I promise. So the I is for you. I have to take full responsibility for the way I look when working my business, okay? Even when I don't feel like it, okay? I didn't feel like it today, but I'm like, okay, let me get my hair together. I didn't want to come on here with like a headscarf on or, pajamas or something. I still needed to have a certain image on here, even though I work from home. So I cannot blame anyone else for my daily choices. Every day I'm live, 90 days. I'm on a 90-day sprint. We're in 80 some days in, 90-day sprint, showing up, sharing business tips, sharing motivation, sharing, believing in the people, like, let's go. We're doing it together, right? So I cannot blame anyone else for my daily choices. I can take the time at night to prepare for the next day. I have to prepare my daily actions. I have to have a plan of action. All of you that have a business, or if you want a business, you got to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you work for somebody who has a plan. Okay. I'm going to do whatever is necessary. I want to grow. I want to show up online more often. I want to attract 100 online leaders. I want to attract the right women who are hungry and ready for a change. Okay. They are ready. It don't matter what you did yesterday. And I wouldn't base my success or failure on what somebody else did anyway. Because how many of us went to college, right? Undergrad or grad, whatever. You went to school. People dropped out. They didn't finish, right? Did you finish? Same thing with marriage. I use this analogy all the time. So many people feel like they have to be married. No matter what I tell you, you can Google this. That's my boyfriend. You can borrow him. They say, I want to say 65 or 85% of people will end in divorce. Will. Facts. Do you still want to get married? Why, girl? Why, young man? Because you think yours is going to be different, right? You're not basing your success of your marriage or your relationship or your partnership because so-and-so got a divorce. You don't even care. I need you to have that same energy with your business. I need you to have that same energy starting projects. I need you to have that same energy. You don't care who did it. Why is it that you care that somebody else did a network marketing or direct sales business and they failed at it, and now you're putting that type of disappointment or whatever on yourself? Like, you automatically take on their energy, like, well, they did it and it didn't work. Well, why do you want to get married? Go look at the stats. 85% of people get divorced. You still want to do it. You still want to be in a relationship, even though you have facts. The reason is you're going to work at it. The reason is you want it. You want it. Anything that we want, we're going to do it. You want it. I wanted a home-based business. I wanted it. So if I want it, there are going to be struggles and challenges along the way for me to have that. If it was easy, I'd be doing it, right? Okay. So you are the CEO. So you're willing to change the way you talk, the way you show up, the way that you post, the way that you communicate, because this is your image. This is your brand. This is who you are. You are the CEO. You got to act like it. You got to own your place. Like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. You don't even know. So when you start changing, what are people, who you know back in the day, what are they going to say? Because this happened. I didn't tell anybody I was going live. I was like, I'll show up and do some motivation and inspire some people. When I first went live, I was like, I'll just do that because that's what I know. And when I started doing it, people were kind of like, well, why did you say you were going live? Why do I need to say that? Like, why did you say you were going to start building online? Why do I need to say that? Right? Because I don't need permission to be greater. I don't need permission to change. I don't need permission to go to my next level, right? I just need to do it. Because what happens is when you start telling people, Steve Harvey said it best. You cannot share your $1 million idea with small-minded individuals. You cannot share everything. Some things you got to keep to yourself and just act on it. Write that down, okay? So they're going to be like, you used to do this. You used to do that. You used to shop here. You used to wear this because you're going to look different, right? You're going to show them. They're like, you used to, when did you start doing, when did your hair cut? You changed your hair? They're going to do all those things. They're just going to, because they're not used to seeing you grow. And a lot of times, most people want you to be successful, but not more successful than them. You better write that down. They're going to want to bring you back to who you used to be. Okay. And you've got to understand the psychology behind that. They don't have any intentions on making any immediate or drastic changes in their lives. And as soon as you do, what happens? It's almost like the crabs in the pot. I heard a different view of the crabs in the pot. When the crab farmer has one crab in the pot, he doesn't have to watch it. It's just one crab in there. He doesn't have to watch it. But he has to put a lid on it because that one crab will just crawl right out. It'll just crawl out. But when the farmer has 2 crabs in the pot, he doesn't have to put a lid on the top because the other crab will always pull the other one down. He don't have to put no top on that pot. You know why? That's how people are sometimes. The moment you start changing your image online and growing, they're going to try to pull you back down to who you used to be. Sometimes you've got to understand it's okay to leave them. People are just like elevators, okay? They either bring you up or they bring you down. You have to make that choice. Weed out the folk, keep the people. Weed out the folk, keep the people. And yes, it's okay to have constructive criticism, okay, from people that you trust and love, right? Those are people you want in your circle. You guys are my people. You want criticism. What I don't like is, let me tell you something. If I'm showing up, I had somebody text me and they said, oh, you could change blah, blah, blah. Now, I know of this person, but my thing is, have you ever said what was right? Have you ever said what was good, what was inspiring? Have you ever given me anything like text, just like you had the nerve to text or message or whatever, that criticism? You've never said anything wonderful. Now, I can't take your criticism because that seemed like hate to me, right? So just understand you're going to take very little from those people, okay? So you're going to say, okay, I'm going to show up for me and my family. Each one of you are wonderfully made, and I believe you're here because you want to go to your next level. You're listening because you need to change your image and you want to change it and you know it's necessary. So the M is mine. If I control my mind, I control my destiny. You better write that down. If I control my mind, I control my destiny. Stop letting negative thoughts and situations change your mind. Start the business, write the book, whatever it is, do it. Those temporary situations, you don't have your emotions tied to that, and then you make a permanent decision. Is that how they say it? Yeah. You don't make permanent decisions when you're emotional. Mind. First you have a thought, then you have action. Okay, that's it. Your thought comes, I'm sleepy. All of a sudden your body hears and you're like, oh, I'm so sleepy. Oh, I'm supposed to go live. Oh, but I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Oh, I don't feel like it. And all of a sudden you got a headache. Like, so you got to control your mind. You got to control your thoughts. Right now, if we were in a building together, right? The mind is, think about it first, then you act. So if I say, oh, there's a fire, we would all jump up and just run out, right? We'd think fire, boom, run, action. That's what happens also when you're trying to build something. You think you're going to start a business, now you act on it, right? You don't let it marinate because then you won't do it. You got it? Write that down. Now, of course, if you are wanting to show up differently, I need you to write this down. Get comfortable with being stretched. It still is. I was like, oh, I don't want to do it like that. Oh, but I need to do it like that. Oh, when I was offline, you had to dress a certain way. And I don't always feel like dressing up in a nice business suit. I didn't always, it's raining, it's cold, I'm getting wet. I didn't want to do that. But I knew once I got to the presentation, that is the appearance that I needed to portray, right? So, same thing, get comfortable with being stretched because you're going to be stretched if you're trying to change your brand, your image online. Because the chair of compromise is so much comfortable than the chair of commitment. This takes a commitment. 90 days strong, it takes a commitment, an unbelievable commitment. It does. But I want to see unbelievable results, right? The A for image is action. Everyone knows, if you've heard me before, put this in the chat, action precedes motivation. I say it almost every broadcast. Action precedes motivation. Sometimes you just are not motivated. That's normal. You're normal. I'm normal. I'm not always motivated in the morning to get up and take my son to school. And listen, he's playing football and basketball, and he has to be to school at 6:30 a.m. for conditioning training or whatever. That means we got to get up at 5 a.m. That means I got to get him breakfast, get him going, leave around 6 to get him there before 6:30, right? Now, that's the beauty. I work from home. I'm able to do that. That's one of the reasons why time freedom, that I looked at a home-based business, because I'm like, I need my time. And so I was like, all right, this is what I asked for. That means I take him to school every day. And so I'm not motivated in the morning sometimes. He's like, come on, Mom. I'm like, I'm like, you got to choose a sport. And so you're not going to be motivated. It's natural. It's human. Okay. But this is the thing. I do it anyway, because the day will start with or without me. The time will pass whether I do it or not. So I'd rather go ahead and put in the time and have success and victory than to do nothing and be miserable. I'd rather be tired and excited and happy than have done nothing all day and I'm well rested and I'm still broke or I'm still living the way I don't want to. Whatever it is. She said, true. So I'm going to go ahead and get up and do it. Okay? Because you're going to have better results and you're going to feel better. The cool thing is I can come back. I can try and take another nap or whatever. Because I've gotten up. I take a little nap. I'll get back up and start my day. And sometimes I just go straight through the day and I'm just like running. But those are choices. Okay. This is the thing. I heard someone say, I don't want it to be easy. I just want it to be possible. It's possible for every single person. It's possible. It's possible for you to build a business right now today. Let's go. Link in the bio. Let's go. Let's start. It's possible for you to be a best-selling author. It's possible. Write the book. It is possible for all of us to achieve our goals one step at a time. Okay. Changing every single day. Right now, everybody is not motivated. No, right now, everybody might be motivated. Before you got on my live, you wasn't motivated. But now that you're here with me, like, she's right. I need to get up, change my image, change my brand, change my life. I'm motivated. Yeah, you're going to do it right now. But what happens tomorrow when I'm not live, right? Or when you don't hear, someone pushing you, someone excited for you, what's going to happen? See, your excitement, right, is not enough. You have to have a reason and a why to get you motivated. It's not enough to be motivated right now. Oh, baby, a champion is somebody when you're not motivated. You feel tired, you feel defeated, and you do it anyway. One of the world's greatest motivational speaker, you guys know Zig Ziglar, right? Yes, yes, yes. Motivation is great, but it doesn't last. And he would reply, he's like, that's like taking a bath. You got to do that every day. Every day. Just like motivation, you got to fill your cup every day. And so because it doesn't last, every day I have to fill my cup. Motivation is a daily process, just like taking a bath. Okay, you can't say, I took a bath yesterday. Well, you could, but I suggest you don't. Just like motivation, every day I'm motivating myself. I'm changing my image. I'm growing. And the G for image is growth. You have to be willing to grow from your current state. You have to be willing, not wanting to, but the willing to. People say they want to grow, but they continue to do the same thing over and over and over. I want to grow. Oh, yeah, I want to do it. Okay, I want to do it. And they continue to do it over and over and over, and you're not growing. Growth takes work. Write that down. A pretty person is putting this in the comments for me. Growth takes work every day. Okay. When big ideas or opportunities come your way, we pass it up and we throw it back. Oh, that seems too big. Oh, I'm going to throw that back. I don't know. Okay. Or you need to invest in something to start your business. Oh, that seems like it's too much. I'm going to throw that back. Oh, it's a task. Or you've been given the task. Hey, these are the things you need to do to show up online. You need to do a TikTok every day. Ooh, oh no, that sounds like it's too big. It sounds, oh my gosh. Okay, that's how we do as people. You guys heard the story. There were two men fishing, and the older man would catch a big fish, and he'd throw the big fish in the water. And the younger man said, why are you throwing the big fish back in the water? And so the old man said, because my frying pan is small, and the big fish will not fit. And so the younger man said, well, why don't you just get a bigger frying pan? Why don't you just get a bigger frying pan? I think sometimes as people, we are like that. When we have big ideas and big opportunities come our way, we throw it back because our thinking is too small. We think small based on our current situation, and we don't think how big our future could be if we take what we have, right? What we've been given, we get a bigger frying pan. You just get a bigger think bigger. Make the impossible possible. He would throw the big fish back in the water because his frying pan was small. And that's how we are in life. A lot of times as people, we're like, ooh, that's too big. That means you're thinking it's too small. You got to change your environment. You got to change that so you can handle it. You can embrace it. You got to want it bad enough. You got to get tired. You got to be tired of being sick and tired. Then that's when it happens. I need you to get out of the safe zone and get in the faith zone. That's what, what's her name? Joyce Myers. She says that all the time. Like in the morning, I'm listening to all this motivation and spiritual teaching. I'm always listening to something, like I'm consumed with it. And I heard her say, you got to get out of the safe zone and get in the faith zone. You got to get in the faith zone. You got to believe that you can actually start changing your image. And if that's something you want. If it's not, okay, that's fine too. And the E for image is excellence. I know a pretty person put this on Instagram and TikTok for me. You did the image for me, right? And the E for image is excellence. Excellent work. Excellence is required. You have to say, I want to work in excellence. I want my business to level up and be excellent. Let me tell you, success requires you to have some excellence in you. If you do not see yourself as a winner, you cannot perform as a winner. Excellence, work your business at an excellent level. Every day, I'm trying 90 days sprint, 90 days of developing and really attracting those 100 online leaders for my personal organization, right? I'm working in excellence. I'm expecting the best of the best. Not perfect, the best of the best. That's two different things. You following me? None of us are perfect. So your image is important. So think about what I want. That's the I. I have to change my mind. That's the M. I have to create daily actions. That's the A. I choose to grow. That's the G. And I expect excellence from myself. I expect it from myself. I require it for myself. And therefore, if I require it for myself, I require it for the people that I'm working with. I require that from them. I want them to be uncomfortable. The problem is when I train hundreds of people and everybody want to be comfortable. If I say, hey, we need to do this, and you're like, oh, I don't feel comfortable doing that, you don't want to change. You don't trust what I'm saying, and you don't want to change. At the end of the day, you don't want to be stretched, and that is what is required. Everybody knows success is on the other side of your comfort zone, right? That's where you need to stay. So every day I make myself uncomfortable. That way I know I'm growing. I'm leveling up. Okay. Excellence is required over here. Okay. So if that was helpful, make sure you tag. I don't even need to say tag and share because you already know the drill. If that was helpful to you, Make sure that you tag and share with your business bestie, your girlfriend, the girl from back in the day. Go ahead and tag and share with somebody, because when I share like this, you share. That's how we change the world. Knowledge is the new rich. Arm yourselves with it. And so that's why I've chosen to show up to share what I know for sure. My hope is to shorten somebody else's learning curve. I know what it's like not to have, a mentor or coach or somebody that's pouring into you. It's so much free information available online. Everybody should have what they want if you are working hard enough to get it, obviously. Oh, I love the hearts on Instagram. I love it. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Yes, that is correct. And I'm expecting, yes, you have to expect the best of the best is going to come in your circle. So if that was helpful, hashtag helpful. If you love this, you're like, girl, I need to hear more of this. The link is in my bio, and it says business tips, motivation, and inspiration. That way you can get some of this on a weekly basis. You will be a part of my pretty people. And so I have a group for that as well. And then if you want to learn more about my personal online organization, the link is in the bio. It's my link tree. Go to the link tree. And then that way you and I can have a personal conversation, or DM me. I actually respond. I actually talk back. And so, and it's me most of the time. It is me, like 90%. It's me. So I'm going to respond back to you. If you want to start a business, you want to be uncomfortable, you want it, you're like, this is my time. Go to the link in the bio. It says online business, so we can get you educated first and see if it's a fit, right? And then if you already have a business, same thing, change your image, start branding yourself, marketing more, right? Hopefully some of those business tips help you, and you're not just going to write them down, right? You're going to actually implement what you've learned, because information without implementation is what? Just information. This was just great information for 20, 30 minutes. That's it. But we're not like that, right? People say, oh, knowledge is power. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Okay. Everybody, there's so many people that are super smart. They're like geniuses, but they're not applying those skills. Okay. It's not helping. So today you're going to apply everything. I'm going to hold you accountable. If you're on the 90-day run with me, the 90-day sprint, 90, if you want to be a part of the 90-day sprint, put 90. We're 80 some days in. We started on last Monday. And so I'm excited to hold you accountable for your income producing activities on a daily basis. I'm excited to do that with you. So tell me about it. Girl, tell me about it. Yes, that's right. Applied knowledge is power. You better write that down. Say, Jerusha said, if you love this, make sure that you follow. If you're on Facebook, do the 3 dots and do see first. So when I go live, you get a notification. On Instagram and TikTok, you just follow. And so you'll get that, bing, Jerusha's alive. So you can have some motivation, inspiration, and business tips on a daily basis. I'm just thankful that grace and mercy follow me. I'm Jerusha Wiggins, and I'll see you on the page. Have a great day. Hashtag pretty people. 90 day. Yes, 90 day. 90-day sprint is in the building.